Hello everybody, Mr. E here, and I have another product review for you from Faber Castell. 24 oil pastels, premium quality, smooth, rich color for easy blending, and a protective storage case. I mean, it truly is. It's the Fort Knox of art supply cases. Pretty amazing. So let's pop that open to see our oil pastels in all their glory. Beautiful. Good variety of color. Really pretty. They're very interesting how they have them cut at the top. Don't know if you can see this very well. It's almost like a gem cut. It's kind of cool. I like it. Well, I thought I would use one of my teacher examples that I had laying around to test these out on. I'm doing an op art project with my students. So I am going to use, now I'm definitely doing this a little different than I would with the project I'm doing with my students. But I'm gonna start off with this dark blue. For those of you who don't have a lot of experience with oil pastels, they do kind of have a crumminess about them. They produce like crumbs. A lot like crowns do. Crowns make crumbs as well. But with oil pastels, you've got to be careful and you've got to resist the urge of doing this. Because if you do that, you will make a mess. They will smear everywhere. So I'm going to switch over to the light blue. And I'm going to go over top of the darker blue, or I should say probably regular blue, and then go outwards. So we get some mixing of the colors. That's one of the fun things about oil pastels is that you can blend colors and do some really nice fades and transitions. Now with my students, I've been having them just stop towards the center to leave a little bit of a white reflection mark. If I wanted, I probably could use some white oil pastel right there. So whenever you are using oil pastels, the best thing to do is really just to tap your paper, and it did nothing. So very carefully, just brush. You don't want to do a hard smear because you'll have a mess. I do have a little bit of a smear right there. Not too bad. So let's get the white. And we're going to go right here in between. That's kind of nice. So these work really well. They are a fairly dry oil pastel. If you work with oil pastels, you probably know what I mean. Oil pastels can be very soft, like the Portfolio series that are water soluble. Those are very, very soft. They feel creamy when you run them across the paper. These definitely have a drier feel. A lot like Crayola. I know I probably shouldn't say that because I've been testing a lot of Crayola and Faber Castell's products lately. They are very similar to Crayola's. I'm not talking about vibrancy or anything else, but that dry kind of oil pastel. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but you do need to work it a little bit more to get the blending to happen. Because it is a drier kind of oil pastel. Now, some people will use paper towels to help blend their colors. Some people just use the oil pastel itself. Some people use their fingers. I don't know how well your fingers would work with this being as dry as it is. But the colors are really pretty. It does produce a lot of crumb. That's one thing when you're working with students and you're using oil pastels, you got them get them in a habit of putting like the pile of crumbs off to the edge of their table so that they don't not off the edge of the table, because then your custodian will not be happy with you, but off towards the edge of their table so that they do not lay their paper in it or smear it or get their hand in it, because bad things can happen if you do that. But it's pretty nice. And it's definitely a good student grade oil pastel. The colors are beautiful. They blend really nicely. And yeah, they produce lots of crumbs. But that's kind of a thing with oil pastels. They just do that. I don't fault Faber-Castell for that. Like I said, Crayolas are kind of like that, and Crayons are kind of like that as well, or can be like that. So yeah, it's a good product, very colorful. Be great if you want to experiment with oil pastels. All right, hope you've enjoyed this demo. Have a good day. Bye now.